All right. How is everybody tonight? Good? Had a great
Good.
call last night. It sounds like I was there for 5 minutes. I appreciate it. I appreciate you bearing with me. Okay, so tonight is August 3rd. August 3rd. August 3rd. That isn't that okay. I know I see that every week, but it sounds crazy to me that it's already August. Like I'm still like in summer mode. I mean, kids are getting ready to go back to school, and this is a really exciting time. This is the exciting time for our businesses because people are starting to think about getting back into a fitness routine. They're starting about getting into a routine in general, and it just seems like more people are receptive to listening to what we're trying to offer them. And people start to think about, oh my gosh, I gained 10 pounds this summer. I don't want to gain any more weight over the winter months, things like that. So this is really the start of our busier season. August through about January is traditionally where you're going to see more things going on and more movement, as long as you are making the movement on your end and you're being faithful with the little things. And so with that, I mean your BAT, doing those things every single day, and those things will start to come to fruition for you. So August is, like I said, August. Probably I would say April is kind of where it really seems to like slow down sometimes. Typically, like this summer was a busy summer for me, just because I think I've made so many contacts and connections and just kept up everything better than I have traditionally done in the future. Hi, you want to sit here with me? And traditionally, so this summer was actually pretty busy. But typically, like I said, August through January is really our busiest time of the year. Okay, Dad, go with Daddy, honey. No, she loves to be on camera. She loves. It's okay, honey. Go tonight. She didn't want anything to do with me 5 seconds ago, and all of a sudden, she wants to be on the TV or on the screen. So be just be ready for that. Be open to that, and that's why we have so many things going on at the Super Saturday and Summit, and now we have everything that we need to be successful this year. All the differences is between you and being successful is just the work that you're putting in, the investment that you're making into yourself and into your business and into your team. And tonight, I really wanted to talk about your questions, but I also wanted to talk about Summer's call today and how great it was, and how, the difference between her and other coaches is that she was in it for the long haul. You guys will see this in your business. Just to give you some idea of the first conversations that Summer and I had, everything that she says that in her story is legitimate. Like, we have those conversations where she was always telling me about the girl that was in the commissary, which is the grocery store for the military. And which I don't know why they don't just call it a grocery store, but it's not. They have to have some special name for everything, apparently. But anyway, she was approached by this girl all the time when she went into the grocery store, and she just felt like, oh God, I just feel icky. I don't want somebody I don't want to be like that to somebody. She didn't know her name. She didn't care about what was going on in her life, or that she had spit up in her hair and she was looking for some stuff for her kids and her husband was gone. She didn't care about any of that stuff. She was just looking at Summer as a dollar sign and someone that she could hopefully recruit. Okay, so that was those conversations that Summer and I had, and that's what she talks about in her story. She knows the power of her story, and she uses that to inspire other people, but it's still her story, and everything that she says is 100% legit. It's amazing when I scroll back 6 years ago into my head and think about all the things and the concerns that she had. And many of you are new coaches. She was making $69 a month her first year, 200 and some dollars the next year, $1,000 or $2,000 the next year. Okay, then it was like 7,000 a month the next year, and then it was about 44,000 the next year. Okay, a month, not a year. Okay, and then now it's like, I don't even know, 15,000 a week or ish, somewhere in there. I mean, it's well over 600,000 a year. Okay, so all those things that she talks about is legitimate, and those are the things that I want you guys to know. And whether we're talking about a Push to Emerald group or we're in the Diamond group, is that you really have to get in that mindset. This is your business, and you have to be willing to take those no's, to take all the ups and downs in this business and be like, you know what? That's fine. That's part of this, you know? And I'm not going to be successful the first year. I'm not going to be, you know, you're going to be successful. You're going to have things that are growing in your business, but you have to really own it in your business and be willing to say that things are going to come my way. It's not always going to be unicorns and rainbows. Okay. It's not all going to be that way ever. As long as you're hitting this business, you know, hard, you're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get a lot of objections. And I can vouch for that. You guys, I've seen those things happen to her. Okay. And all the 7 points that she had today in her talk they're the things that we can do. Okay. How many of you guys had the opportunity to listen to that call today? Okay. Okay. I'm going to go through those really quickly, those 7 things that she talked about. Because I think it's really important, you know, because we can sit here and talk about strategy, and we could talk about our BATs, and we can talk about all this stuff, but unless you decide to own your business, it doesn't make any difference. If you have everything in place, if you have your binder in place, if you have your calendar ready to go, but if you don't own that time and you don't use your time effectively, and you don't do some of these things that are on that sheet that she gave you, the things that we talked about today or she talked about on the call, the rest of it doesn't make any difference. You know, it's not going to make any difference if you don't own your time and you're not committed to doing your business activity tracker and your business hours, and you are you know, helping people grow in all areas of their business. None of that stuff is going to make a difference if you are not. Number one, the first one was you have to own yourself. Okay, you have to reprogram your mind. You know, she talked a lot about you know, just watching crap TV and listening to, I find myself all the time getting into that gossiping thing. Okay. It's easy to do around where I live. It's easy to do in probably wherever you guys live. You know, it's something that I've had to start being very cognizant about, is trying not to put myself in a position where I gossip. I try. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm perfect at it. Okay. Because that just happens sometimes, but owning yourself, reprogramming your mind to start to figure out what is acceptable to take in and what is not, because what comes in comes out, right? So whatever comes in your head is going to come out through your mouth and the actions that you have. And so that was one of the things that she talked about. So trying to do as much personal development, personal or self engagement, you know, as you can, reading and doing your personal development. The more of that you're going to have. John Maxwell talks about that, the law of the lid. Okay. So if you're not doing your personal development, you're not growing, you are only going to grow to a certain point, and so is your team. Okay. It's the law of the lid. So if you're only willing to go here, you can't go anywhere else, and neither can generally your team unless you help get them to here. Okay. So you have to do that. You have to own yourself. You have to own your time. Did anybody really resonate with that today? You know, she talks about that a lot and some other things that she's had, you know, the training groups that we've been in, but it's some things that she had to say, okay, you know what, if I really want this business, if this is what I want, then I'm going to have to take some things out of my life in order to get there. She took out her Grey's Anatomy. I remember that. It was probably about 3 years into her business. She was like, oh God, I got to cancel my Grey's Anatomy nights. I got, you know, all these military wives, they're getting together and they're drinking and they're talking about how bad their life is and how bad it sucks and how bad the military is, and everybody was negative, you know, and all that stuff. And she's like, I got to stop that. I got to stop doing that. You know, I got to figure out where in my day that I can take away to add to what I want long-term. So sit down and think about what are some things that you could do differently in your day to make it work, and how you can maybe use that time to work on yourself. Okay. The third thing was, if you care more about people than you do your product, you will be unbelievably successful. And you guys can see this in a lot of different businesses, you know, that people just care about their product more than they give a shit who gets it or what's going on. I mean, it's very evident in the pitch, the sales pitch, the approach that they have with you. And it's just very evident. If you guys invest into people because people have the money. So you have to learn how to have a relationship with people so that they want to invest that money into you. So my thing is always a self-reflection. If that person I cannot get to commit to a challenge group, it's probably not about the product. It's probably about me. Okay. It's probably the fact that they don't trust me. They don't want to invest into me. Okay. So you have to think about that sometimes as an objection. It may not be so much about how you're approaching it, but maybe they just don't trust you yet. And you need that time, or they need that time in order to invest. And yes, looking at, it's not an investment of $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, but $140 to some people is a lot of money. So if they're going to give that to you, they best feel like they're going to invest it wisely, correct? So that is a really, really big important thing, is to work on getting along with people and relationships more than you do with your product. You really are the brand. You know, you're the messenger, and you're taking that message, but you're the person that's leading the way. You're the person that is attracting people to you. Why would they want to buy it from you if they could go to beachbody.com? See what I'm saying? So that's why we're always talking about, don't go to your website or put your website all over Facebook and say, Shakeology this, Shakeology that. Like, did you guys see a post on my like page today? I posted about mushy bananas versus ripe, just giving them a tip. I'm adding value. Okay. I was adding value and I was serving others. Hey, mushy bananas or browner bananas, they're better for you for healthfully. Actually happened to have a Shakeology canister in the background with a NutriBullet. Okay. I had like 13 comments on that thing. Did they say anything about, hey, where'd you get your Shakeology, or what's that shake? No, but they commented. Those are people that I can start to target and look at and see, how I might be able to develop a relationship with them at some point. They're looking at my page. So worry about offering value and serving others when you're thinking about your posts. Okay. That's what she was talking about today too. Okay. If you care more about your people than you do your product, you'll be recognizably, unbelievably successful. Offer a great service. This is something that happens a couple of weeks ago. This was something that she talked about actually at our summit training with her, is that her dog was dying, and she went to Walmart, and she doesn't like to go to Walmart, but she also stops at Nordstrom's. And the difference between the service in Walmart and Nordstrom's is not even close. Okay. Like, she went up to a guy that had a Walmart shirt on, asked where the dog food is for her dying dog. And the guy says, sorry, I'm off the clock, and keeps walking away from her. Okay. And when you're at Nordstrom's, or if you're at some other place, they are like asking you, what type of stuff are you going to? What event are you looking for? I don't know. I've never shopped at Nordstrom's because I don't have one. I don't have one anywhere. They don't give that experience online. Sorry. Okay. But it's a welcoming experience. So how do you want to be? You have to have that good service, and you have to, care for those people versus just say, hey, thanks for your money. Woo! Good luck on that program. Okay. Good luck. All right. Running challenge groups, those types of things. Number 5 was adding value to 2 people per day. That's something that she said, that's one thing that she has done from the get-go. Looking at your list and going and adding value to somebody's life. How do you add value? Show up. Show up. Like their stuff. Go to an image and like, oh my God, your kid is so cute. Oh my gosh, you're so, that's so adorable. Just showing up in somebody's life, you can add value. Okay. You can add value through your posts. Okay. Through your social media posts, your 3 posts that you do a day. 2 to 3 posts a day. Okay. All right. So adding value, think about in your head, or what are some other ways that you can add value? Type them in the bottom. I want you guys to share, be interactive. Share what are some ways that you guys think that you can add value, okay, to somebody's life. So 2 people a day is something that she did. Did I say that did she make a sales pitch to 2 people a day? No. She started adding value to 2 people a day, okay, started that relationship with them. And then 6 was intentionally sharing my story on social media. There will be a training on sharing your story through social media by Megan Elwoodson and Amy Silverman. They talk about breadcrumbing and how you can share your journey and all that stuff through social media, and how you can attract people using your story. That will be coming out hopefully soon. But just telling your story, understanding what your story is first, and then starting to relay that online. Okay. Do you need to sit down and type out a biography about yourself? Is that telling a story? No. Okay. My story is that I gained 60 pounds with 2 back-to-back pregnancies, lost a sense of who I was, had no idea who I had become. I had a fight with my closet. I wasn't happy. I was still a coach, but I had lost a sense of who I was. And, that's my story. So I'm always figuring out ways that I can relate to that target market, that niche, whoever want to call it the niche. I'm sure Michelle up there in French Canadian land probably says niche or something else. I have no idea. I'm not making fun of you. I love you. I love that French stuff. I wish I could speak it. You know what I mean? Like, how can you relate your story? Brock, you're going to have a story different than mine. Okay. People are going to, obviously, because you can't have kids, but I mean, you can have kids, but you can't have kids. You know what I'm saying? You can't have them. Okay. So just, understanding where is it that you came from? Where were you at before you got physically active, before you started investing into yourself, and where have you come? Lead them through that. Tell them that story. Are you tired? Yes, I am. I'm extremely tired. I had to mow my own yard today. That's why I'm tired. Anyway, I went and bought a mower because my mower man is not mowing my yard. So I had to mow my yard. That is not owning your time. Okay. That is not a good example of owning your time. Get somebody else to mow your yard. Okay. And, so intentionally sharing your story. And the last one was about owning my sprouts. And, at first I was like, what in the hell is she talking about? Like, I hadn't been in some of her groups. I'm like, until probably a little bit before Summit, she started talking about these sprouts. Did you guys understand what she was talking about? She was talking about these little achievements, little things, little victories that you guys, we tend to smash, even though they're little, okay? But they're little, but they're mighty. They're things that are helping us grow forward with our business. Things like, I only have 1 challenger in this August group. Oh my gosh, I only have 2 Success Club points. Oh my gosh, I only spent, 10 minutes reading my personal development. Oh my gosh, you know what? I could never be like Megan Elwoodson. I could never be like Summer Tucker. I only have 2 people on my team and I'm only making $50 a month. Who cares? 6 years from now, you could be making $1 million a year. Freaking own that. And I am so guilty of that myself, you guys. So it's not like I'm not the only one to do it. I think everybody does it. It's self-comparison. And like she said, that is the road to the fastest, self-destruction possible is when you start comparing to somebody else. If you start comparing your chapter 0 to somebody else's 20, okay, you guys can't compare. It's just like we do with our fitness challengers or our challengers. We've had some people who've had great success, but they've been doing it longer. They've failed more. They understand the process. Whereas somebody who is just getting started on their journey, they look at somebody, oh my God, I can never be her. I lost 20 pounds. I lost 30 pounds. I want to do that, but she's done it. And, you lost 5 pounds this week or this month. Okay. Own that, be excited about that, and celebrate those small things. Because John Maxwell talks about this a lot too. Okay. Is that if you can succeed if no one else believes in you, but you can't succeed if you don't believe in you. Okay. That's one thing that he has taught us a lot. And that's one thing that's always stuck in my head. And if we're not believing that those little sprouts are important, then what are we going to do when we have the bigger things? Okay. All right. So those were the things that, kind of an overview of the calls today. I do recommend if you haven't gone back, to listening to go back and listen to that recording because it was really good. I know you guys got kind of the cliff notes, not quite as deliverable as impressionable as Summer probably is, and probably don't get quite as excited as she does, but she's been doing that a lot longer than I am, and I can sure she was nervous. I sent her a message and she was nervous, but she was excited. But she gets excited, and I don't. Yeah, you're right. Don't crush my sprout. See, that's an example. I freaking killed it. I gave you awesome 7 pointers for you guys to take away for this week. Example, point case. Thank you, Katie, for pointing that out. Okay. While you guys are listening to a couple of other things, maybe thinking about some questions, go through the chat and just look at some ways that I think Katie said compliment them, compliment them on their whatever. I don't even know, but you can just, I can't even think of anything in my head. Compliment them on something, a dress they wore or a vacation picture that they posted, those types of things. Okay. So go back and look at some of those chats and think about to yourself, when you're going through your business activity tracker, how can you add value to 2 people's lives a day? Okay. So go look at that. All right. So there was a couple of questions about what does my schedule look like now compared to what it did before? Okay. So Katie, maybe you can comment on this too. I just want to say that I don't have everything figured out. I don't. Do I have the secret sauce? No, I don't. Am I completely organized every single day of my life? No. Do I work my set business hours? I do it every day, but some days it's different. Some days it's different hours. Like I had somebody who was watching the kids on Mondays and Tuesdays. That is no longer here anymore. So that has changed. I'm getting up earlier in the morning and I'm staying up a little bit later at night, okay, to work my hours. But I'm always doing the same things every single day. It's the same things that you guys need to be doing, whether you are first getting started or if you've been doing this a while and you're just getting back into it, okay? That business activity tracker will help you. And I don't know what business activity tracker you're using, but Tracy Morrow and Summer talked about, you have to figure out 3 to 5 things that are the non-negotiables for you every day, okay, based on your goals. So for me, I have really been working on personal development, the things that we've been talking about, owning yourself, changing your mindset, okay? And I've honestly been working on a little bit of my relationship with God because I'm not like a godly person. I'm not a real spiritual person. I would like to be. Do I know how? I'm trying, I'm trying to do that. So, and part of that for me, is to figure that out. And I've had some things come up in my life that's like, bam, that was a smack in the face. I really should be talking to God. I really should be doing something. And I'm not going to sit here and preach at you, but that's something that I'm working on myself. So I do that. I'm always posting on social media. There isn't a day that doesn't go by when I'm not posting at least 2 to 3 times a day. It's just that important to me. Those are the things I have to do. Like I've only posted twice today, but I know 9:30, 10 o'clock is like mommy time. Like, whoa, let's get on social media. Everybody's in bed. Yeah, I want to check out my social media. I'm going to scroll through. Woo! That's oftentimes when I'll post my challenge group stuff because timing is everything too, okay, for your target market. So for me, like Friday nights at 9:30, 10 o'clock, prime time for moms, okay? Prime time. Sunday nights, late night, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. That's a good one. Do I get many in the morning, early morning? Absolutely not. I don't get any 6 o'clock in the morning ones, okay? I don't get those. I get moms who probably just ate, whatever at night, and it's, Sunday night or Friday night, and they've got nothing better to do but to scroll Facebook. Their kids are just in bed. Their hair is a mess. Maybe their husband's out working. I have no idea, but that's the time. So you have to figure out 2 to 3 times best time scenario for you. Okay. The other thing is just creating new relationships, always looking for ways that I can either add value, start a conversation, or invite somebody. Those are the things I do every single day. Okay. It looks a lot different. My schedule looks a lot different from when I first got started because I didn't have kids. So I was at this 24/7. I was at it. I was glued to my computer. I was on all the time. I was doing a lot more social media stuff. I was learning how to create websites. I was doing like Twitter. Finally gave up on Twitter. I don't care about Twitter. I have no idea. It's a beast. But I was doing more of those things. What does my schedule look like now? I get up in the morning. Okay. I get up pretty early in the morning. I know early for some people is like, 4:30, 5 o'clock, like Katie, but like 6 o'clock for me is early. Okay. 6 o'clock, I love my sleep. So if I go to 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm usually in bed by 9:30, 9:45. I'm trying my best. Okay. So that's what I do. And then I'll check in, a few times, a little bit here and there in the morning. After, if the kids lay down and it's rest time, I'll check a little bit more, do a few more things if I haven't gotten it finished up. And then right now, evenings, I'll do my calls. I'll do my final check-ins with my groups. Do I start any new conversations? No, because I don't even want to F that up. I mean, I don't really start any new conversations when you have mom brain for the day. And so I work the best by doing those things in the morning. So when I do those things, then I try not to do anything other than that until I've got that done. What are some other things that I'm doing? I'm learning a little bit more about, like creating freemiums. Like freemiums are like products, services, like a newsletter. I try to do newsletters for my team or for my customers, creating things that I can send and add value and collect emails, things that Chalene Johnson talks about. I've done a little bit of Periscope. Periscope is a big new social media thing right now. It's like sort of addicting. I haven't created any yet, but it's addicting. Don't even try it if you don't have time, because I watch Chalene Johnson all damn day. I could. She's like constantly like, blah, blah, blah. And then she had one on the other day about Coach Glitter and her hair. And I like Coach Glitter because obviously I know who she is because she's Chalene Johnson's makeup artist. So I'm like, oh, awesome. Like, I need to watch that. Like, don't do that. Don't get like that stuff that I watch like right before I go to bed. It's like brainless stuff. But Periscope is like a live video feed. Okay. So like you get on it and Chalene is live and it's only up there for like 24 hours. So you have 24 hours to watch it. And then you can go to like another site called KATCH.me or something like that and watch the ones, but it's only on Periscope. It's like Snapchat for 24 hours, but it's like a long, I don't even know, maybe half an hour, 20 minutes, however long you want to do it. It's like a Renee show. Like if I wanted to show you how to do, mow your yard when you're mad and, whatever, I could do that with my phone and you could see me do it live. Okay. So it's connected through Twitter. So I wouldn't suggest you do that, but yeah, anyway, Periscope is the biggest thing. It's like the next biggest thing. And I'm totally addicted to watching Chalene Johnson, but she's got some good stuff. So I do use some of it for personal development. Like she had one on about how to attract people to your business, what to do and what not to do. Anyway, so there's things like that on there that you can watch from her for social media. I like that. But you guys, my business was completely different before I started, when I started this compared to what it is now. I was just about that sale. I really was, to be completely honest. I was. We didn't have challenge packs. We didn't have challenge groups. We had programs and we had some supplements. We had some P90X bars and that's about it. Okay. So I just have always, I've just learned. I'm reading a book right now called The Go-Giver. Katie and I and Jackie are actually reading that book right now. And it talks a lot about how if you want to make big business, if you want to have a big business, is that you've got to give first. Okay. You have always got to give. You cannot take first and then expect your income to grow. And it's really good. It's a really good book. So it's a fast read. I can't tell you who the author is. It's called The Go-Giver. I downloaded it on my Katie, do you know who it's by? Okay, The Go-Giver, Bob Burg and David. Bob Burg, B-U-R-G. Excuse me, I'm dyslexic tonight. And John David Mann, M-A-N-N. It's a pretty quick read. I mean, it's going pretty fast. It's really easy to get into, but it's a really good book so far. That's what we're reading with Summer and another training group that we're doing with her. But the other thing was Pam had talked about, and I'll cut it short. Pam had talked a lot about, or little questions about the 5-day challenge and how to train. I think this is what you said, 5-day challenge and transitioning them from the 5-day and what do we invite to now that we have the 5-day group into the next one. Is that correct? So what are you focusing on with your current challengers in that group in terms of your invites, or what are you doing outside of that group? Can you clarify that for me, Pam? Maybe just open up your...
I kind of gathered more office. I listened to Summer's wake up call this morning on my way home tonight. So it kind of answered a lot of my questions actually.
Okay.
But I guess I I need to go and explore more in the back office. I personally need to use those tools more after listening to her call. And but yes, like I had a lot of people interested in the free stuff, but then again, like, how do you, I guess I need to learn how to approach them to do challenge packs or Shakeology, or I think just everything we've talked tonight, it'll just come. I mean, if they I'm just gonna back up that bus and go with me and with in them. Put
Yeah.
my interest in them first, and then see if there's something that I can do to help them, and go from there.
Yeah. I mean, what I really focus on right now is just adding value to them throughout this week. So what I've done is I create a thread. Okay, I create a thread through Facebook, and I just make sure that I'm checking in with them, seeing how did your first day go? Do you guys have questions? And then I'll send them private messages and just be like, hey girl, how'd it go? Are you enjoying this challenge? Like maybe tomorrow or first thing Wednesday morning. Just asking, getting their feedback. What are they struggling with? Just get to know more about them. Ask questions, because the more you get to know about them and what they struggle with, that is when you're going to understand what you can give them. Because if we know their problems, we can offer the solution. And if you know those problems and you know the solution, the less likely they're going to give you that objection. And if they give you an objection, then you have a list of how to go about overcoming those objections. So what I would do, Pam, is set a challenge group. Just set a date. Let's just say you're gonna do it on the third week of the month. Let's just say the 10th isn't going to work, so the 17th might be a good option for you. And just say towards Thursday, Friday morning, I'll say, oh my gosh, I've so much enjoyed having you in here. I've really gotten to know you more. I feel like we have a better connection. I have an understanding of what you struggle with. And, I don't know if this is something that you'd be interested in, but I do these monthly groups. It would be, 25 more days than like what you see right now. It's going to be a little bit more intense. We'll have a little bit more support. You get to pick a particular program, and we're going to give you 30 days of Shakeology. And I was just wondering if you might be interested in continuing with that with me, and that's how I approach it. And I know maybe Katie does it a little bit different. Everybody does it a little bit different. But just this week, really start to ask questions, and you'll figure out what need that you can fulfill. I mean, Katie probably has more to add to that. Maybe not.
I really just think it's a matter of comfort level too. And, but the more you do get to know them, and the more that you talk to them and ask how they're doing, and keep it about them rather than you, what you've done, what you've experienced, like you can add that to them. You will be adding value to them, but at the same time, you don't want it to be about you. You want it to be about them. And, another thing, I know that not everybody is into this, but if I do a free challenge, I also like to even transition them into a 30-day with a 10-day Shakeology challenge. I enjoy the 10-day. I usually have good success with it. And it's a nice way to allow them to try it. But what Renee said works just as well, because sometimes after these 5 days or 7 days or whatever, they really feel the connection. They feel the support of the group. They feel like they were accountable. They probably had some success within those 5 days, and they're looking to move on and continue on with that. And so that's exactly when, you need to ask them how that works and what they want to do next. But don't hesitate to talk to them. You have to talk to them. Don't wait until day 5. You need to check in with them every other day, if not every day.
Yeah. Because again, like we said this before, this is a glimpse into what you're going to offer them as a coach. And this sometimes is our first and maybe our last chance to be able to do that. It just depends on sometimes, that person. I'm not going to say last, because it's not going to be your last, but maybe 6 months down the road, you might reapproach them about doing a 7-day challenge or a 10-day challenge. Like Katie had said, if they've initially said, nah, I'm not interested in it. But doing the 10-day challenge is a really good option. Do 30 days with 10 days, with a 10-day trial of Shakeology. I thought I saw somebody ask a question about BOD. Yeah, you can do whatever you want with those Shakeology packets. I mean, you can have them you could do whatever you want. If you want to do a 30 day trial of Beachbody On Demand with $10, 10 packets of Shakeology, you can do it that way. There's just so much flexibility in what you can do with that.
A lot of times we'll do, either a 5 or 7 day free challenge and offer the option to try Shakeology. That's always a good one too. That way it's not required. But like this one, we gave them a meal plan, right? But if you're going to have them jump in with Shakeology for that 5 or 7 or 10 days or whatever, you want to make sure that you're sweetening the deal. So that's when I like to change it up a little bit. And Renee's done this too. We're a team. We've done this before. We do a 5-day clean eating challenge. We offer 5 days of Shakeology. The people that jump in with the Shakeology get the meal plan. They're getting a little bit more value because they are putting skin in the game and they're willing to try it and they're willing to invest in themselves. So we in turn are investing in them and giving them something good to go with and work with.
Yeah. You can do so much. Here's my recommendation. We did a 30-day free trial group for 30 days. And 30 days. It's just too long. It's too long. It's too long of free stuff. It's too much. So you can give them 30 days and maybe just do a 10-day trial with Shakeology and say, hey, we're going to run a group for 7 or 10 days. But to sit there and let somebody use that and use you and having a group facilitating that for 30 days, don't do that. Unless you're a sucker or a glutton for punishment, go ahead. But that is one thing I will say is, they can do 30 days, but just run your challenge group for a shorter amount of time. I did learn that. Okay. So does that answer your question, Pam? Okay. All right. Otherwise, that's all I had for you guys tonight. This was a fun call. Today was a great call by Summer, and I just felt like this was a time that we could talk about those things. And I just want you guys to give me information about what you would like to learn more about. What are you struggling with? Because I don't want to come up with these things and just come up with them out of the blue and be like, hey, maybe they might struggle with that. Let's talk about it. Come on, let's talk about it. But I do want you guys to let me know don't be shy, if something comes up and you're not sure, I'll write it on a list and we'll talk about it. We'll have those things come up. Okay. But I want you to make sure that you go back and listen to that call with Summer today, because it's an honor to be able to hear from somebody like that. And just for me personally, just seeing somebody grow by doing those 7 things, you can hear from all the top coaches, but you don't truly know their story. You know what I mean? Like, are they telling the truth? Like some people don't tell the truth. They're fixating that story a little bit. And not all of them are like that, but I do know a few of them. It's just kind of a truth with a little bit of exaggeration. You know what I mean? So it's really good to be able to tell you guys that everything that Summer says is not an exaggeration. I sat back, in those 2 to 4 years of having my kids, and I wasn't building my business when she took off, and I was just amazed at where she went and the stories that she tells and what the money that she was making, just to see. I'd have to go back and compare you guys just to see what I was making my first month to what I make now a month, and give you guys some idea. It's nowhere near what I used to make. Okay. But I've also been doing this for 6 years. Do I make, $600,000 a year? No, not at all. Okay. But just to know that it is possible, but you just have to be willing to put in the work. Okay. And find new people to talk about. Okay. Brock has a question.
Yeah. I was talking to my sister tonight, and she may be doing a challenge pack, and she may do the coaching at first as a discount coach.
Sure.
And I didn't know which link would we send them, the coaching link. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then they choose a challenge pack to then get that first fee waived.
What I would recommend that you do is have her sign up for an account first. Okay. So have her go to your website, sign up for a free account, and then go in and say coach, be a coach, and then order her challenge pack.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, because because the reason why I say that is because a lot of times, I'm not saying that your sister does, but some people go to your website and they've already had an account from 5 years ago that they forgot about, and they have the same email address, and they go and they sign up, and then they're never registered with you. But you can eliminate that a lot, even with your customers. If somebody's going to go order a challenge pack, have them make sure that they're signed up with you first, and then you have them order the challenge pack. Because if they're signed up with you and this is it me? Is it me? Yeah, it's you. It says you, and then go order it. Especially when you're signing up as a coach, because you don't get notified. You know what I mean? Like if you do get notified, but you have 72 hours to change that sponsor where that person's going to go. Okay, so you wouldn't want to have someone sign up and be like, oh crap, I forgot to check on her, make sure she was in the right spot. 3 days later, she's stuck there. Do you know? That person is stuck there in that spot and not with you.
When we get the coaches, should we contact you to learn more about the placement?
You're gonna, since this is your first coach, is your first coach, Brock, don't worry about really where it's at the first time you ever sign up. But I want you to go in and look at where she's at. Go into my business. I do my sponsorship drill down, but you can go to Graphical Genealogy. It'll have you, and then it'll have wherever you put your sister. So then go underneath and set my business, set preferred placement, and set it to the opposite side. So if she's on your right, your next coach, you want to set that to left. Okay. Maybe that's a training we ought to do.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Talk about that. Okay. There is training in your back office on that, how to set your coach placements and stuff like that. Okay. Anything else, you guys? Otherwise, this was great. Thank you so much for bearing with me. And oh yes, outer leg. There actually is a Carrie Legault video. I don't know if that's the right time, but I could probably share that one for you guys too. Okay. All right. Anything else? We should add that to the Emerald training. Yeah, I think it's coming up. I think it's coming up. Okay. All right, guys. Have a good night. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon, okay? Make sure you listen to that call. Okay, good night. Bye.